Okay, great. We're just gonna have a chat. That's great, man.
Thank you, Matt. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's no, it's a real pleasure. Yeah, it's. I think not enough voices that are, trying to look at things objectively.
I'd agree. But you saw my presentation. Give me your start with your instinctive reaction to my presentation.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was well done, obviously. Well, the timing and everything and how you did things. The mic either could have been louder or closer to your mouth. I think a lot of people out here couldn't hear. It wasn't maybe loud enough. Yeah. But as far as DeFi is concerned, you did hit on some main points, like in a descriptive way. But the question is, where is this leading? It's good to see these things, to identify these things as alternatives, to identify there's a difference between the crypto ethos and then the people that are in crypto actually operating, which is, I think, what you've done and others have done. But the question is, where does it go and what does it do? I haven't watched your documentaries, but I'm going to, and that's why I wanted to approach you, actually. Not for an interview, but for to find out more about the documentaries, because I think it's good to have these cases and these stories, especially these scams. But I think it will inevitably turn a lot of people off of DeFi and crypto. And I don't know if that's your aim, or just for that people get scammed less. But it was interesting. Yeah. So the content was very interesting.
Okay. I can tell you right now, I'm an independent, so a couple of people after that came up to me and said, who's financing you? And I explained to them that I'm an independent filmmaker and I'm telling stories that I am uncovering in my investigation. So I got nothing to win or lose really out of this. Probably more to lose, actually.
Yeah.
And I have looked at how to potentially finance such things going forward. But
Well, I was wondering about that angle too, right? Because the people that are contra crypto aren't necessarily
nobody has an interest in financing such things.
financing. Yeah.
And that's totally understandable. We're talking about, like, I'm putting a microscope on tribes that might not otherwise like such a microscope. And I find that fascinating. Like, beyond all the economic gain, number go up, people get rich, people get wrecked, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I love to understand the group dynamics, those that congregate around a coin. And I wonder if you have any
community
or ideas about that specifically.
Yeah. Well, about coins, I'm not too invested in. So I was one of the early pioneers of NFT technology, 2018.
Okay, but I see them as equivalent, to be honest.
Yeah, and so when you're talking about communities and you identified that piece, it's really all about communities, and especially in NFTs, but also crypto. It's and this is where the tribes come in and the apes, which is why it's really good art. Seneca made that art, and the apes and Bored Ape Yacht Club was kind of a representation of what was going on in the background with, you have these apes, like these kind of dumb figures that have yachts, and yet at the same time it's kind of a community of at that time guys, but people in this space. And there's a certain real community that's built through things like the IRL, the in real life events, and then having the same thing. It's like kids with the same baseball cards or whatever, right? You're both the same team, right? You're both interested in the Red Sox or the Wallabies, whatever it's Australian team that you guys like. And the community aspects are one, I've found in NFTs and also crypto that it's in a way therapeutic. It's a missing group of people, friendships, things like that, that maybe we're missing in your life. Maybe you don't have close family relationships or positive family relationships. And
So a sense of belonging.
a sense of belonging, and the society has, pushed people out of that in a sense. People don't, religious traditions have broken down in a way. This community, you have the nuclear family, you have these things, and basically, it's a replacement for that. It's a replacement for lost family tribe. It's in like new tribes, and it's kind of cool when you think about it because it's around NFTs, especially around creativity, or with crypto around a different centralized idea, a different central idea that then carries these believers forward, and that's why it's different than a Ponzi scheme, because it's different in many ways. One, there's different use cases that actually make it viable, like a smart contract in Ethereum's case. Or the fact that you can't debase the Bitcoin like a traditional currency. But the possibility of communities forming around an idea, and this is in the virtual space, and people just feel like they belong. They feel like they're special, and this has been marketed and used for marketing a lot with the coins. And the Bored Ape Yacht Club is a great example of that, where it's just selling exclusivity.
And on top of that, ApeCoin was released off the back of this already established community, Hodlers. Yeah. Self-dealing is a way, and this is the thing. Hang on a second. Let me just pick that up.
No, please.
First came the art. The art came first, the collectors, and then came the currency. Whereas previously, you would have the currency first, and would generate some value in which the currency could be become a utility to purchase certain goods. But with NFTs, I think Ape Yacht Club paved the way in that regard. They started with the art, and then a year later, they launched the currency.
Right.
Off the back of the value that was created by the art. So they did it in reverse.
Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting phenomenon. How long these communities will last is a different story. So one of the things that happened with the Constitution, remember they had this Constitution DAO? I don't know if you know about DAOs.
I do know about it.
And that broke apart after the object failed. And so you could think of it like a project in a way, right? So when the Constitution DAO was built and they tried to buy it, that was great. And then if they bought it, then you would have this community and you would have the Constitution and you could do all these things and it would have further interest and reason to be, raison d'etre.
But it was never realized.
It was never realized. And so the whole thing fell apart almost instantly. And I think this is what will happen. I mean, no disrespect to Gary Vee. I mean, I met Gary Vee last year in NFT NYC, and it's great what he's done. He's a marketing genius. But in the end, it's not really like valuable art. What he's created. Something it could be valuable in the sense of it was revolutionary or pioneering. But the value.
I get the sense that you've been in this space for a while. Is that true?
Yeah, since I was in the space when there was only like 200 people at NFT NYC, but I build for different reasons. I was actually the guest last week, so I'm only here in Malta temporarily. I come back and forth, but I was the guest last week talking about how blockchain, crypto, and NFTs are useful for real world businesses, not just shilling coins and trading, because we use I use blockchain and cryptocurrency as a reward system and a verification, a digital credential system for my language school. So it's a bit different, right?
You come from the same background as myself.
Oh.
So you're looking for efficiencies in the. It sounds like that you're looking for applicable efficiencies within the already regulated market.
Yes, that's right. Well, not only that, yeah, that's a nice way to say it. Applicable
exactly what it
efficiencies.
is.
He's like, I've been through this now. I'm working on this one. Yeah, applicable efficiencies within existing and new markets. And I do feel that Web3 is super valuable to be involved in. So if we are not using this technology, then, and then what happens is the legacy systems no longer are viable. And this is why the desktop, virtual desktop and cloud computing was such a revolutionary thing in this sense, because you could now, through Nutanix and other companies like that, virtual desktop, you can now actually connect those old systems, those legacy systems that people don't want to put the budget in to reorganize everything. And
Sounds like FOMO, mate.
yeah, yeah,
It sounds like FOMO.
yeah. Well, no, it's more like staying ahead of the curve, I think, with blockchain. Blockchain. Crypto is a bit different.
Okay, let's just get to the beginning there. Sorry, I should have asked this at the beginning.
Oh.
What's your background and your name?
Oh, yeah.
So that we get that on record.
Right, good.
Because otherwise,
I'm Josh Lange.
Your words have no weight.
No, wait, right. Yeah, I'm Dr. Josh Lange, Lange. I'm a professor here in Malta, the Dean of Applied Languages and Intercultural Studies. And I have a background in entrepreneurship as well as corporate management and building universities around the world. And I got into crypto through students of mine, doctoral students in computer science, that I was helping them with their writing skills. And I really liked the Bitcoin concept and worked on it more until I could find a solution where this could be integrated into my company. And so I came to Malta for different purposes than taxes or crypto, but I got a lot of more interest when I was here. And so what I got, and it ended up that my technology was in NFTs in 2018, and now I'm like one of these really well-known people in the NFT world because I was a pioneer in 2018 with actual NFT functional concept. I had no idea it was going to take off in the arts and all this kind of stuff. And that was exciting. But then last year, I was asked by Lou Kerner, the founder of Crypto Mondays, which Crypto Mondays is the largest in-person events in the world, to host a couple of events in New York City when I was in New York. And I did, and I liked it. And I kind of became part of the community of Crypto Mondays. And now I do it around the world to some extent. I help find sponsors. I help forge deals with venues. Crypto Mondays is like the world's largest one of these things, crypto meetups.
Now,
And you know what?
I heard you speaking to one of the other guys about it earlier on. But
Yeah.
okay,
Well, you know what? I'm trying to set up a debate. There's a guy named John Reed Stark who's already agreed to it. He's an anti-crypto person. He's a former director of, deputy director of the SEC in the United States, and he was in charge of the financial crimes and internet crimes division of the SEC, and he's pretty anti-crypto. And so I do Crypto Mondays Global once a month online. I usually focus on a different theme or a different country, and I would love to do a debate discussion for people with a anti and pro contingent.
I can tell you with confidence that I am neither anti or pro, and because a number of people have asked me who's financing this,
Yeah.
I'm glad to tell you that I finance myself.
Oh, that's
I
good.
would be very, very happy to come onto Crypto Mondays with you.
Yeah, I would love to have you in Crypto Mondays. Where are you based?
Currently, I would rather not talk about that.
Oh, I see. But are you in New York sometimes, or we have Crypto Mondays all around the world? So
Okay, but
yeah, there's 70 different countries. Yeah.
we can come back to that afterwards. But let me just bring this full circle.
Oh, great.
Because I want to get your perspective on the future. Okay. You said you've been in NFTs, or you were an NFT pioneer back in
2018, yeah. I started working on
I want to project
Ethereum.
out from 2022 into the next at least 5 years. I know it's difficult, but I want you to try to tell me where we're at in 5 years.
In the whole world, crypto world, or in general?
No, specifically NFT.
In NFTs.
Where are we at in 5 years' time?
Wow, that's a nice closer question, actually.
I think so.
Where are we at in 5 years' time with NFTs? NFTs will replace a lot of ownership verification systems, credentialing systems, and anything that can have a transfer of ownership can be mediated through an NFT. And since it's such an easy technology and so many people have gotten into, that'll be have a major influence on ownership and transfer of ownership. And then another area where it's having a major impact already is digital art and the transformation of art into digitalized spaces. And so you have now NFTs moving and doing lots of things, building on themselves in artificial intelligence. And so it's a nice connection between the people, like the starving artist who doesn't have the marketing and has to pay third parties, to have direct access to a whole bunch of clientele. And then also I see NFTs being a function of currency, a type of currency for young people. Now that's something people aren't talking about with NFTs, but it's a type of currency. It's a bartering system. Hey, you give me an ape and I'll give you a rabbit, right? And the ape and the rabbit are worth some externally connected, currency like US dollars. And so I give you an ape and you give me a rabbit, and it's all like nobody is regulating that. The problem with NFTs though, and could be the Achilles heel, and I don't know if it will be or not, is the self-dealing. So selling the ape to yourself for a high amount of money. And that's not regulated. Whereas if you do that if I sold my own products to myself in like a business, I would be in trouble. But nobody in the NFT world's in trouble for that.
You're
But
describing pumpamentals.
Pumpamentals, is that what it is? I love that you got all the buzzwords, man. That's a good label. Pumpamentals.
It's my job.
It's yeah, so I see a lot of future for NFTs, and truthfully, I see a lot more future for NFTs in crypto because there's a super valid use for them. Like what we're doing, I'm getting ready to erase some student debt in the United States, erase it through NFTs and as digital badges that are sponsored. Just that would sponsor education, and then as people on a merit-based system, as people achieve their education outcomes, then they get cryptocurrency and these NFT awards badges. And so there's lots of different uses of NFTs in the real world, and I see it being a major success.
I got one more bonus question.
Yeah.
And you might have picked it up when I was talking in my presentation about dictators versus democracy. I don't know if you saw my presentation.
Yeah, I did. I love that, actually. That was one of the best points of the whole thing.
So what I want to highlight there is the fact that it's safe to say that anybody can launch digital asset.
Yeah.
So, again, zooming forward, how are we going to, these markets will never be regulated. They cannot be regulated. It's impossible.
Yeah.
What kind of preventative systems are going to come into place where future NFT, whether they are rabbits or apes or anything, are not orchestrated and continually controlled by
dictators.
questionable individual.
Well, you know, that's the point of the future of decentralization. But you know, when people look at that as different than what we have in the real world right now, it's no different. People fall for propaganda. People fall for fake news. People fall for misinformation. People fall for hype. People fall for pumpamentals, whether it's a stock or whether it's an NFT. And so I don't see that human nature changing, unfortunately, but I do hope that it will correct itself and start to figure itself out, and you know, as more people get involved. Okay, thanks a lot, guys. I really appreciate that.